So, previously on our deep dives into New Zealand's lost national treasures, we've uncovered relics so dusty even your nana's crystal cabinet said, slow down. But today's a big one, man. The final chapter, the grand finale. Because in this episode, I'm digging up legends that didn't just disappear, they completely bloody evaporated. They pulled a classic shithouse shuffle and said nothing. So I'm going to find out what happened to them. So buckle up, because half the things I'm talking about didn't have seatbelts anyway. And join me as I take one final trip down memory lane.
When the cap is removed.
Got all the right bits too, Scotty. Let's take it for a burl, eh?
Georgie Pie. The golden era. The warm memory.
I swear pies were bigger when I was a kid.
Or maybe, our hands are just bigger now experience. For a lot of Kiwis, Georgie Pie wasn't just a fast food chain. It was their personality trait. And look, I'll be honest with you, I wasn't just a fan. No, my sweet viewer. I was Georgie Pie Kids Club certified. A badge-wearing, pie-devouring, frozen Coke sculling little legend. Some of my best memories are tied to that place. Summers at Lyell Bay, and then heading straight to Georgie Pie afterwards. Sunburnt, starving, sandy, but clutching a mince and cheese pie like it was a golden little treasure. Because that was the beauty of Georgie Pie. It wasn't fancy, it wasn't flash, but it felt like ours. A Kiwi fast food chain, made by Kiwi tastes, and sold at real prices that Kiwi families could actually afford. The first store opened in Kelston, Auckland in 1977, and the idea was simple and brilliant.
Serve pies, serve them fast, and keep them cheap.
Because that was the award-winning formula. Throughout the 80s and the early 90s, Georgie Pie grew steadily, and by the early 90s, the chain had around 32 stores nationwide, from Auckland to Dunedin. It wasn't just popular, it became part of our national routine. Families stopped in after sports games, teens hung out there after school, and road trips often featured a planned trip to Georgie Pie somewhere along the way. And at the peak, Georgie Pie didn't succeed because it was groundbreaking, it succeeded because it understood the country. The pies were cheap, famously cheap. At one point you could get a $1 pie combo, which was essentially the holy grail of fast food in the 90s. And the food was familiar. Mince and cheese, steak, bacon and egg, no confusion, no fancy marketing, just the flavours New Zealand grew up with. It was also family friendly, and most importantly, it was New Zealand owned and operated. Georgie Pie wasn't trying to be McDonald's, it wasn't trying to be sophisticated, it was proudly, unapologetically Kiwi. But by the mid-1990s, despite its strong brand loyalty, Georgie Pie began to struggle financially. The fast food competition intensified, especially from overseas chains with deeper pockets and bigger marketing power. And at the same time, Georgie Pie restaurants were large and expensive to operate. And in 1996, Georgie Pie was sold to McDonald's New Zealand. And this was the turning point many New Zealanders still talk about. After purchasing the chain, McDonald's eventually began closing Georgie Pie's stores nationwide, replacing many locations with McDonald's restaurants instead. And by the late 1990s, the entire chain disappeared. A homegrown success, swallowed by global fast food. In 2013, after years of public pressure and nostalgia, McDonald's brought back the Georgie Pie, but not as a standalone restaurant. Instead, the pies were sold inside McDonald's stores. The most famous return item was the $4.50 mince and cheese pie. It sparked a wave of nostalgia, debate, and strong opinions. Some people loved it, insisting it tasted the same as the original, while others argued that it was close, but not quite the Georgie Pie that they remembered. And ultimately, the pies were phased out, and by 2020, Georgie Pie products had been completely discontinued. And that marked the second and seemingly final end of Georgie Pie. Today I'm talking about one of my absolute favourites. A restaurant that shaped birthdays, family gatherings, celebrations, and the occasional act of mild criminal behaviour. I'm talking about Valentines. This was the birth of a buffet empire. Valentines began in 1989, originally opening up in Auckland before spreading across New Zealand. It was a buffet restaurant with one mission: feed the nation until we physically couldn't move anymore. New Zealanders didn't like it. We loved it. And it became the go-to place for birthdays, work parties, family get-togethers, and the best part, you got to eat free on your birthday. This was a loophole that turned New Zealanders into Olympic-level liars. Some people were turning 12 for the 5th time that year. Others spread their birthdays across multiple locations. And if you ever had 3 birthdays in a week, you might owe Valentine's an apology. Everyone had their own Valentine's ritual. For me, it was watching my mum return to the table 20 kilos heavier. Not from the food she ate, but from the food that she stole. That fat little hobbit would line the inside of her purse with plastic bags and then casually fill them with jars upon jars of jellybeans. To this day, I'm convinced that she personally cost Valentine's thousands in confectionery losses. That was the beauty of this place. It wasn't fancy, it wasn't posh, it was just a family restaurant. And this was the golden era. This is why we loved it. Valentine succeeded because it hit every Kiwi's cravings all at once. The food variety was massive.
Roasts, seafood, salads, curries, desserts, soups, bread rolls, hot dishes, cold dishes.
If it existed, it was probably somewhere on that counter. And you could eat until you regretted every life decision you made that day. Portion control didn't exist at Valentine's. And it felt special, but not expensive. Families who couldn't afford flash dining could still go there and feel fancy. And it was reliable. You always knew what you were getting. Food poisoning. And that was kind of the charm. Valentine's was the closest thing New Zealand had to a Las Vegas buffet. During the 90s and 2000s, it expanded across the country, from Christchurch to Auckland, becoming a genuine household name. But like many beloved Kiwi institutions, its glory didn't last forever, and Valentine's began facing several challenges. New Zealanders started shifting towards more modern restaurants, boutique eateries, and fresher, healthier dining options, because buffets are expensive to run. Large buildings, big staff numbers, huge food waste, and buffets began to fall out of fashion. And the final blow came in 2010s. Several locations closed throughout the decade, and by the late 2010s, most Valentine's restaurants had shut their doors completely, and the brand faded. And just like that, New Zealand's most iconic smorgasbord disappeared from the dining landscape. Alright, if I'm ending this series, I'm going to end it properly, with one of the most nostalgic beasts that hits harder than any theme park, pie shop, or buffet could ever dream of. Music, and the temples where we worshipped it. Way before Spotify, before iTunes, and before LimeWire tried to nuke everyone's family computer, music wasn't just something you clicked, it was a mission, a hunt, a lifestyle. And for me, it all started with 2 magical Wellington hotspots, Real Groovy and Sounds. I can still picture teenage me stepping off the bus into the big city, heart racing, holding a grand total of $14.20 in coins. I had 2 dreams back then. 1, to marry a big baddie punk chick, and 2, to own my own record store. And I came very close to one of those dreams when I became the assistant manager of Sounds in Manners Mall. And honestly, it was one of the best jobs I ever had. Founded in the late 1980s, Sounds grew from a single store into an empire of around 50 stores nationwide. And for a solid decade or 2, it was New Zealand's music scene. Every mall had one, packed with CDs, cassettes, posters and stuff, and knew way too much about Metallica's discography. But it was also the place where you spent all your pocket money, bought gift vouchers for people you didn't know too well, and hoped that the new CD wouldn't be $39.99. It was an era where music felt earned. You saved up, waited, and you listened to the album front to back because you paid for it.
Well, what happened if Kiwis loved it so much?
Well, the cracks started showing. First came the CD price wars, and then came the warehouse undercutting everyone else, and then came digital music and illegal downloads. The great Kiwi tradition of
I'm not paying $34.99 for one song, mate.
came into effect, and by the 2000s, technology hit Sounds like a freight train. Sales started to tank, stores started to close, and by 2007, Sounds was gone, sold off, liquidated, and slowly erased from malls across the country. And just like that, the empire vanished. But here's the thing, even though Sounds is gone, the impact isn't. Whole generations discovered who they were walking through those aisles. And now, with streaming taking over and physical media fading out, I can't help feeling a little sad, because music stores were one of the last great cultural meeting places. A place where strangers bonded over nothing but sound. And while the world has changed, the feeling hasn't. Music remains one of the last true unifiers on earth. It brings strangers together, it creates communities, it heals breakups, it starts friendships, and it saves lives. And it still, even today, has the power to stop you in your tracks, hit that invisible nerve, and make you think, holy shit, Creed really is good. That feeling never dies. And as long as we protect music, share music, and love music, the spirit of sounds and every other music store like it lives on forever. And just like that, we've reached the end of our journey. 4 episodes, dozens of forgotten icons, hundreds of memories. Yours, mine, and the whole country's. When I started this What Happened To series, I honestly didn't expect what happened next. The comments, the stories, the memories you all shared. Every episode felt like opening up an old photo album, one where we all forgot. And so I want to say thank you. Thank you for coming on this journey with me. Thank you for reliving these moments. The good ones, the strange ones, the heartbreaking ones, and the hilarious ones. And thank you for reminding me that nostalgia isn't just about old places. It's about the people who are in those places. We don't miss the pie, we miss the people we ate it with. And we don't miss the theme park, we miss the family that took us there. And we don't miss the music store, we miss the version of ourselves who walked in, hopeful, excited, and a little less afraid of the world. And that brings me here, to the part I wanted to say carefully. As I get older, I've become a lot softer, kinder, slower. I take my time more, and I think about what time I have left in this world. Because when you lose so much in life, it's only natural to want to go back and remember. To remember a time when someone was around who isn't today, or to eat in a restaurant that no longer exists, with a person you once loved. Because everyone loves nostalgia. We all want to be past versions of ourselves. But if I've learned one thing, it's that time is so short, so bloody short. And it doesn't wait around for you. It doesn't care about you. So if you've got anything out of this video, or this entire series, just do me one thing. Call your mum. Call your dad. Go see a mate that you've been meaning to catch up with for the last 5 years. Make plans with someone. Go out and do something new. Because instead of living in the past, become an awesome memory in someone else's future. Because some of you had shit childhoods, and some of you had the best. But if you have kids, or people that you care about, these are the moments now that they'll remember forever. Because life moves on, and things disappear. Places close, and people go. But what you do today, well, that becomes someone else's nostalgia tomorrow. So thank you for watching. Thank you for remembering. And thank you for being here today.